Hey, you true believers. Chris Mack coming at you with an action figure today that I was unsure if I really wanted to pick up, but ultimately said, let's do it. This is the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse 3 Jokers Batgirl. Now, I will say right off the bat, there is one thing about this figure that is ultimately going to piss me off. We'll get to that here in a second. As you can see, DC Multiverse Batgirl, McFarlane Toys. I really appreciate that they put the 3 Jokers there to follow the comic book series. Come around, usual window. On the back, not a decent, not a bad action figure shot, but again, I would have rather preferred something from the book and let us do our own type of creativity. There's also figures from the wave, so I'll get a close-up so you can check that out at your convenience. Come back around this way as the box falls on me. And I like that, they do this so you can find it on a peg instead of having to pull everything off. I know I talk about that a lot, but it's just something that's so easy, especially when you're in a hurry. And there's nothing on the bottom. So with that said, let's get this version of Barbara Gordon out of the packaging and get a closer look at her. And here's Batgirl out of the packaging. And overall, the sculpt is beautiful. I like the cape. Her outfit looks exactly the way it did in the comics. But still, there's just a few things that are just absolutely bugging me. And I feel like they could have done a whole hell of a lot better with this figure. I get this, disturbance in the force that whoever sculpted and put this together just did not care or was in a rush. What do I mean by that? Let's get Babs down and I'll talk further in detail. This Batgirl was inspired by the 2020 Batman 3 Jokers miniseries. The books are essentially the spiritual successor to both 1988's The Killing Joke and A Death in the Family, exploring the traumas both Barbara, Gordon, and Jason Todd experienced at the hands of the Joker and how they deal with it in their own ways. While Barbara copes with her trauma in a healthier way, we see that Jason does not. There is something that happens in this miniseries that rocks the relationship of both Barbara and Jason significantly, both literally and physically. I thoroughly enjoyed what Geoff Johns was trying to do, though I wish he developed the series more. It absolutely chaps my hide that this series has fallen down the memory hole when so much more could have come from it. Now, we went over all 3 books. Check out the reviews if you'd like to know more. And with that said, let's talk about the accessories before we talk about the figure. So as per usual, each figure coming with their own, what do you call this thing? Stand, so cool, glad, whatever. Moving on. She comes with her grapple hook, and it's okay. I mean, it's a grapple hook. Who cares? Can't do anything with it. This doesn't extend. There's no rope. Just something to put in her hand, and yeah, that's it. Now, the one accessory that she does come with that I actually do like is this Batarang, because the first Batgirl that we went over from his first wave, oh my god, that thing was huge, and it barely fit in her hand. As you can see in comparisons, this one's actually decent. So for that, I'm thankful, because that first one, I was like, oh my god, you're going to break her fingers getting that thing in. So those are the accessories that she comes with. Now with the accessories out of the way, the figure, at a glance, is actually really beautiful looking. However, when I said that there's the one thing about this figure that's going to immediately piss me off, look at her eyes. I mean, don't get me wrong, the blue for her eyes is beautiful. Lipstick's good. The head sculpt in and of itself is nice. They had that cowl. But did you see what I'm talking about? The sideways glance. Why? Why? Who in their right mind wants an action figure that's not looking straight at you so that you can do different stuff? Just absolutely stupid. Stupid. What a way to ruin a great figure. Go look off this way. I mean, first her to look at the camera correctly, you have to turn her sideways. It's just working to move on because it just lights me up, chaps my ass, throws me up the wall, and frosts me just to see that sideways glance. Ugh! The skin tone looks good. As I just said, the cowl, absolutely beautiful. Love the length of the bat ears, even though it's a little bent and kind of drives me nuts. Red hair looks great. I love the cape, very soft plastic, the way it ripples, though I would prefer a cloth with wire. You guys want to save plastic? I'm just saying, Mafex is kicking your ass in that regard. The yellow on the backside looks beautiful. Bat signal on the chest, great. Musculature looks the way it should. That dark gray all the way down her uniform, all the way back, all the way side, all the way side, all the way to the back side. Looks good, but, oh, hold on. Here's another thing that really drives me nuts, but we'll talk about that in a second. Gloves look good. Love the little bracers that have the wings on them. Cape looks good. Boots look good. I'm pretty sure these are reused from the first Batgirl, but still, it's cool that they look like bats. But here. This figure's not, what, maybe 2 years old at the most? And we're back to the effing, ugly effing ball joint. Get the hell out of here with that thing. You know, at this point, what they should do is like NECA does. Bring this, make it enough soft plastic. Bring the soft plastic of the glove, or the glove, all the way over that ugly ass ball joint, and then reveal the hand. Problem frackin' solved. Instead, no. It looks like she has a testicle wrist. It's absolutely disgusting, and I hate everything about it. The feet aren't as bad, but still just, ugh, ugly, ugly, ugly. Hate it, hate it, hate it. For the paint apps in and of themselves, beautiful, but like I said, whoever designed this must have been like, oh, I don't give a shit. Just throw that on there and call it a day. Oh, the eyeballs are looking off this way. Whatever, just slap it in a box. It'll be fine. And that's kind of how I feel. They just sort of half-assed Barbara, which sucks because she's such an iconic member of the Bat family. Moving on to the articulation before I go, because I can make a whole, probably good 30-minute video about why that stuff irritates the crap out of me, but we'll save that for the After Dark channel. She's on a dumbbell kind of peg, I'm a fire thinger. Now again, oops, see, there you go. Peg. I warmed her up so the head popped out, and yeah. Oh boy, it doesn't want to go back in. There we go. Downfall again. You know, Marvel Legends suffer from this. Multiverses suffer from this. Is the hair makes it hard without her neck popping off. Thank God it's a joint that's not going to snap, but you can barely get her to look up that much no matter how much you warm your figure up, which you should always do before you do anything, or else it's going to break. You can get her to look down, well, not that much. About that much, side to side, and you get a little bit of play and a little bit of back and forth motion on the neck. So good stuff there. A nice 360 degrees on the arm, up that way, upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then down on the hand, up on the hand, 360 on the hand, even though that ball joint is so ugly. I hates it. I hates it. Okay. So that's the arms. She doesn't twist at the waist, but she does at the solar plex. So boom, boom, down about that much, up about that much. So nice range there. She is a very bendy character that I'm thankful for because it makes sense since Barbara is acrobatic like Grayson is. She can go out that far, 90 degrees forward. Hey, Hasbro, pay attention. Soft butt flap can go all the way back on the ass. Double jointed knees. Awesome. McFarlane, pay attention to Hasbro and really work on your thigh swivel because this one on her is Fabok. Now, what I like about Barbara being so, what's that word we're just using? Bendy, or articulated, whatever. is you could really get a good, you know, kick to the face pose going. So I'm glad that they at least kept that in mind while designing her, so it looks a lot more natural. Now for the feet, foot go up, foot go down, foot go side, 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 and then toes go pivotty, piv, piv. Yes, I made that up on the fly. So minus a few irritating blemishes like the sideways glance and the ball joints. The eyes, I'm sorry. Still a relatively good figure, especially for the articulation. That makes up for a whole lot with this figure, in my opinion. Overall, I do like the Batgirl figure, but I think that's because I'm biased and the Bat franchise is one of my favorites. And of course, you know, having Barbara Gordon in the Batsuit is always a plus. The figure in and of itself, it is bendy. As you can see, you can get her down into a nice kneeling position, and the cape, the soft plastic's enough to where you can get her to stretch out and not make the cape look awkward. So there's enough articulation on the body to make it look cool. But as we've talked about, the one thing that pisses me off the most about this figure, and I'm glad that McFarlane is finally starting to, from what I understand, acknowledge it, is that sideways glance a lot of his figures have. There's absolutely no frickin' reason for it. I mean, if he's that gung-ho about having it, then give us an extra head. Hell, with this figure, basically any Bat figure at this point, I would take a maskless version as well. I mean, frickin' A, that Mafex Batman that we went over had that Bruce Wayne head. That's what drove me to finally just buy that bad boy, was to have a Bruce Wayne head. I would love to have a Barbara head, a regular Dick Grayson, etc., so forth, so that we'd kind of have that regular look. The hands, hate the hands. I mean, come on. All these figures, we've been doing this for a few years now, and we get the ugly ass ball joints back. Come on. That's what I meant at the beginning when I said whoever sculpted this and put this together must have really hated Barbara, and it shows in some of the quality. Yeah, I'm not too huge on this one. I love the way it looks, but I hate the way it's put together. I think it's going to be my ultimate gripe there. Now, if you guys have enjoyed what you've seen with this figure and you want to pick it up to finish your collection, please first and foremost support your local comic shop. If not, and check out the other places we talked about at the beginning of the review. If you haven't enjoyed the review, we really would appreciate it if you take a moment to hit like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you want my that fancy little bat bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys will get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with you all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below, or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, photo slideshow coming up next. Hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.